Welcome to this edition of Market Mantra, in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. Well, I am Nishit Kumar and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vishal Sharma.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत। रोज की तरह आज भी हम आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार से जुड़ी ताजा खबरें आप तक लाएंगे और उन पर चर्चा भी करेंगे। चर्चा के लिए हमारे साथ आज स्टूडियो में ऑनलाइन आमंत्रित हैं वरिष्ठ आर्थिक पत्रकार ए.के. भट्टाचार्य। ए.के. भट्टाचार्य जी, नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत।
नमस्कार।
और सबसे पहले हेडलाइंस के साथ है निशित कुमार।
Record run continues for the domestic market. Sensex jumps 453 points. Nifty closes above 18,000 level. IT majors Infosys and Wipro report rise in quarterly profit. And IMF says India will be the fastest growing economy, projects 8.5% growth rate in the next fiscal.
घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में रिकॉर्ड तेजी का सिलसिला जारी। सेंसेक्स में आया 453 अंक का उछाल। निफ्टी 18,000 के स्तर के ऊपर हुआ बंद। प्रमुख आईटी कंपनियों इन्फोसिस और विप्रो के तिमाही लाभ में हुई बढ़ोतरी। और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्रा कोष ने कहा कि भारत होगा सबसे तेज गति से बढ़ने वाली अर्थव्यवस्था वाला देश। अगले वित्त वर्ष 8.5% की वृद्धि दर का अनुमान। कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत शेयर बाजार से। आज घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में लगातार पांचवें कारोबारी सत्र में तेजी का रुख रहा है। प्रमुख शेयर सूचकांक सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी नई रिकॉर्ड ऊंचाई पर बंद हुए। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 453 अंक के उछाल से 0.8% बढ़कर 60,737 पर बंद हुआ। नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी भी 170 अंक की वृद्धि से 0.9% ऊपर 18,162 के स्तर पर जा पहुंचा। व्यापक बाजार की बात करें तो बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स में 1.6% का उछाल आया और स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में 0.6% की बढ़त दर्ज हुई।
Rising for the fifth straight session, domestic benchmark indices hit fresh highs today amid all-round gains. Strong buying was seen in the auto, metal and IT stocks, while some selling pressure was seen in the realty sector. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange climbed 453 points or 0.8% to end at a new closing high of 60,737. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange advanced 170 points or 0.9% to end at 18,162. And in the broader market, the BSE mid-cap index jumped 1.6% and the small-cap index rose 0.6%. In the Sensex pack, 22 stocks ended the day in the green, while 8 stocks fell. M&M was the top gainer at 5.2%, followed by Power Grid at 3.4% and ITC at 3.3%. While on the other side, Maruti was the top loser at 2.5%, HUL declined 0.9% and Nestle lost 0.6%. And among the BSE sectoral indices, almost all the indices ended higher. The auto index surged the most with a jump of 3.5%. The power index gained 2.2%. The metal index rose 1.5%. The consumer durable index advanced 1.3%. The capital goods index added 1.2%. The IT index was up 1.1%. The energy and the telecom indices advanced 0.7% each. And the finance, healthcare and oil and gas indices gained 0.3% each. And the banking index rose 0.2%. The realty index was the only sector that ended lower with a decline of 0.1%. Well, AK, the markets seem to be in a celebratory mood over the past 5 sessions or so, with the benchmark Sensex almost pushing the 61,000 mark today. What factors do you see at play in this euphoria?
Well, this is a broad-based rally. There have been a series of good news for the markets in the last few days, and which is why I believe the market's rally has been sustained. It was driven largely by the Tata Motors tie-up with this company, which has given TPG deal, the TPG, and it is mainly for the electrical vehicles project. That is one. Then you have got the retail inflation, which is decelerated. You have also some of the developments in the early companies' results, which you have seen, starting with TCS and then even Wipro's result today, have had a positive impact on the market. And the market's sentiment is also borrowed by the fact that government has shown a little more decisiveness on its privatization plan, with Air India has been sold off. On October 15th, Ordnance Factory Board units will be converted into companies. So if you look around, you see that markets are actually are quite in thrall of the way positive actions are taking place all over. So much so that the only bad news for the market, which is the rising crude oil prices internationally, as well as the domestic retail prices of petroleum products, though that bad news has got completely subsumed by this flurry of positive developments, which is what keeps the markets buoyant even now.
Indeed, but let's talk of the FII and the DIIs. As in the last, let's say, 10 or 15 or 20 days even, the FIIs have kind of pulled out substantially, and even the DIIs. Can we say safely that the retail investors kind of, they have kept the market afloat given the euphoria, even while the FIIs and DIIs have pulled their legs back?
Well, I think the retail investor is a savvy investor, and they have so far looked at the various indicators of the economy. You have an IIP number which has come, which shows that the strengths in the pace of the economic activity continue unabated. So while the FIIs interest in the market may continue or may not continue or may have got a little subdued, but I think the retail investors are seeing that the party is still going on, and the Q2 results, and my belief is that as long as the Q2 results continue to pour in good earnings for Indian companies, I would say that the markets will remain in positive zones.
So can we safely assume that the retail players, they do carry some heft in the market as compared to the FIIs and DIIs?
Oh, of course. I mean, and please remember that the retail investor is not just investors like you and me. Retail investors will also a large number of investors and various companies and all that. They also are investing in a big way into the market because nobody wants to be left out of this party.
Correct.
जी, और अब बात कर लेते हैं रुपए के प्रदर्शन पर। अंतरबैंक विदेशी मुद्रा विनिमय बाजार में आज रुपया 14 पैसे की मजबूती से $1 के मुकाबले 75 रुपए 37 पैसे के स्तर पर बंद हुआ। विश्व की 6 प्रमुख मुद्राओं की तुलना में डॉलर की मजबूती दर्शाने वाला डॉलर इंडेक्स 0.2% की गिरावट से 94.41 पर रहा।
Well, it's time now to slip into a quick break, but do stay tuned because we have lots coming up on the other side of the break.
बड़े भैया, इस दोहे को जरा एक्सप्लेन तो करिए कि बिना विचारे जो करे सो पाछे पछताए, काम बिगाड़े आपनो जग में हो फसाए।
सिंपल है छोटे कि बिना विचार किए अगर आप इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे तो बाद में पछताएंगे और लोग भागेंगे।
वो तो ये बात है।
हाँ छोटे, लोगों की बातों में मत पड़िए, इन्वेस्टमेंट सोच समझकर आज से ही करिए।
बड़े भैया,
अरे छोटे,
भारत के सबसे बड़े स्टॉक एक्सचेंज NSE द्वारा निवेशकों के हित में जारी। समझकर इन्वेस्ट कर।
Well, AK, talking of the markets, in the broader markets, the mid-caps are also almost trying to catch up with the party, with the Sensex and the Nifty, which was probably not the case over the last few quarters, but the small cap, which had been doing spectacularly well, seemed to have slipped a bit today. How do you see this development?
Well, remember that the small caps had done exceedingly well, a couple of months ago.
Indeed.
And they had reached a high, and I think they were consolidating those gains. Stock market is all about making gains and then staying where you are, and maybe you go down a bit and consolidate your gains and build a position, and from there on you move to the next level if there are positive signs. So I think that what has happened in the small cap is that they moved up very fast a few months ago, and I think they were consolidating themselves, and now you're seeing the gradual recovery in the small cap index as well. But the mid cap, which had seen a rally much earlier than the small cap, is now once again seeing some sort of activity, and I attribute this also to the regaining of some confidence in the gradual opening up of the economy, and the recovery process in the economy getting strengthened, and that has buoyed the sentiment in the MSME segments, and the MSME segment therefore is actually reflecting in this current mid-cap index doing better.
And where do you see the large caps going from here on?
Well, there are 2 or 3 important variables that the large caps will be influenced by. Number one is what kind of policy stance on the monetary policy stance the Reserve Bank of India maintains, and how quickly or how phased will be RBI's gradual withdrawal from the easy money policy or the easy liquidity phase. That is a very important factor which will influence the markets in general and large caps in particular, because the large caps are vitally impacted by the RBI's liquidity policy and the interest rate policy. That is number one. Number two is to what extent will the large companies in the experience sector, which is the tourism, the aviation, the hospitality, those companies get back to their old earlier pace of activity. So that is a very important factor. And if the COVID does not throw up a nasty surprise with the third wave, which is bad, then I would say that the stock market can see a more sustained rise in the coming weeks.
जी, और अब नजर डाल लेते हैं वैश्विक बाजारों पर। सबसे पहले एशियाई शेयर बाजार, जहां आज कारोबार मिला जुला रहा। चीन का शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स 0.4% की बढ़त में रहा। चीन के निर्यात में सितंबर महीने में अप्रत्याशित बढ़ोतरी दर्ज होने से विश्व की दूसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था के सुस्त पड़ने से जुड़ी चिंताएं कम हुई हैं। दक्षिण कोरिया के कोस्पी में लगभग 1% और सिंगापुर के स्ट्रेट्स टाइम्स इंडेक्स में 1.4% का उछाल आया। लेकिन हांगकांग के हैंगसेंग में 1.4% और जापान के निकेई सूचकांक में 0.3% की गिरावट दर्ज हुई। बात यूरोपीय शेयर बाजारों की करें तो अंतर्दिवसीय कारोबार में लंदन का FTSE 100 0.2% के नुकसान में रहा, लेकिन जर्मनी का डेक्स 0.7% और फ्रांस का CAC 40 0.2% की बढ़त के साथ कारोबार करते दिखे।
Now moving on to the U.S. markets. The U.S. markets slipped yesterday in choppy trade as investors waited for businesses to report how rising prices have hit their latest earnings, while bond yields spiked and the dollar shone on bets that monetary policy will soon be tightened. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.3% to 34,378. The S&P 500 lost 0.2% to 4,351. And the Nasdaq Composite dropped 1.1% to 14,466. And the two U.S. Federal Reserve's policymakers said that the central bank has kept pace with a planned move to reduce its bond buying program, cementing expectations that the Fed will start withdrawing its crisis-era stimulus as soon as next month. With businesses hit by the persistent supply chain disruptions and inflation pressures, the International Monetary Fund warned that the global economy's recovery from the COVID-19 is being constrained and cut growth outlooks for the US and other major industrial powers. Now, given the rising expectations that accelerating inflation will prompt central banks such as the Fed to rein in the ultra-loose policies, benchmark bond yields rose in anticipation of tighter monetary conditions. Two-year Treasury yields, which have climbed as much as 100 basis points in October, along jumped 2.3%, a level last seen in March 2020. Well, AK, talking of the US Fed, it has already been given signals that it would be tapering and kind of it would be pulling back, the stimulus and all that it had provided during the crisis era. If at all it happens in some time, how do you see it percolating down into the Indian markets, and especially when we saw last week that the RBI has kind of continued with its accommodative stance and not tinkering with what we had over the past one and a half years? How do you see this thing?
Well, I think if the US Fed does carry out what it has indicated, which is phasing out of its bond buying program, which means less liquidity in the market, which means less money which is available for investment in the emerging economies. But my reading is that while the announcement has been made, but the execution of this plan will happen over a period of time, which will probably give some time for adjusting to the reality of reduced liquidity. That's number one. Number two, what the RBI did was actually started the process of raising the reverse repo rate by using the VRR cutoff at 3.95, which is a few basis points more than the reverse repo rate of 3.35. So RBI has done enough to send out a signal that while on paper the accommodative policy remains, but the market should get used to the idea of slightly higher cost of money, which is why the yields have already begun going up in the Indian bond market. So I think whatever is happening is happening in sync with the global markets, and therefore if there is a problem of growth, problem of inflation, which is likely because of the crude oil prices going up, I think the Indian economy's recovery process will be hit to some extent. But right now, the drivers of growth in the Indian economy are strong, and one has to see what happens after the winter time, when the actual sense of the demand for energy products will be assessed. So one has to wait and watch, and for the stock markets, one has to always be cautious, not be extra jubilant or extra enthusiastic, and see what. Be very watchful in short. Yeah.
You talk of being watchful in the market. So, what advice do you actually have for our listeners and investors, wherein the markets at the moment are, of course, they're at a lifetime high? Do they have to kind of just sit back and just think much over it, or rather just go for it? What do you have to say?
Well, I think the retail investors will always have to be watchful, because and you have to be. If an unintelligent investor is no investor in my view, so you have to be conscious of the various factors that are at play. So therefore, to believe that if the markets are buoyant today, they cannot go in a different direction or in the opposite direction a week later or 10 days later. If the spate of good news turns into bad news, then therefore the investors will have to constantly be on the watch. So which is why I said no investor can afford to be not watchful in any market situation.
जी भट्टाचार्य जी, आपने बात करी आरबीआई की जो इजी मनी पॉलिसी है, क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि हम अब एक ऐसे बिंदु पर, एक ऐसे पॉइंट पर पहुंच गए हैं जहां पर कि मॉनेटरी एक्सपेंशन के जो खतरे हैं वो सस्ते ऋण, जिसे हम चीप क्रेडिट की बात करते हैं, उसके फायदों से ज्यादा हो गए हैं?
देखिए, मेरे हिसाब से इस वक्त इन्फ्लेशन का जो डर जो है तो था पहले, वो अभी 4.5-5% के इन्फ्लेशन रिटेंशन चल रहा है। तो और इसीलिए जो और ग्रोथ की जो रिकवरी जो है वो मैं समझता हूं कि उसकी जो चांसेस जो हैं वो और भी स्ट्रांग हो रही है, क्योंकि अगर कोविड के अगर तीसरी लहर न आए या अगर उनका प्रकोप कम हो और जिस तरह से वैक्सीनेशन चल रहा है, मैं समझता हूं जो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ रेट जो है अगले तिमाहियों में अच्छा रहेगा। अगर वो रिकवरी ठीक रहा तो मैं समझता हूं कि जो इंटरेस्ट रेट पॉलिसी जो है उसको भी थोड़ा बहुत उसी हिसाब से अपने आप को एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा, और उस एडजस्टमेंट में जो एकोमोडेटिव मनी पॉलिसी है उसको एकोमोडेटिव मनी फेज से थोड़ा बहुत जरा न्यूट्रल की तरफ बढ़ना पड़ेगा, जिससे कि इन्फ्लेशन का जो डर है वो आम आदमी को न सताए।
जी, चर्चा जारी रखेंगे, यहाँ लेंगे एक छोटा सा ब्रेक।
बड़े भैया, इस कहावत को जरा एक्सप्लेन तो करिए कि पानी यूं मत डाले जाओ, ऋतु देख के फसल उगाओ।
सिंपल है छोटे, कि अपने लक्ष्य को दिमाग में रख कर इन्वेस्ट करना सीखो, पैसा ऐसे ही मत लगाते जाओ।
ओ तो ये बात है।
हाँ छोटे, अगर पढ़ाई के लिए या किसी की शादी के लिए जोड़ना है रुपया, तो उसी हिसाब से तो इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा ना भैया।
बड़े भैया।
छोटे,
भारत के सबसे बड़े स्टॉक एक्सचेंज NSE द्वारा निवेशकों के हित में जारी।
Welcome back once again to Market Mantra. Oil prices edged down today as expectations grew that oil demand growth will fall as inflation and supply chain issues strain major economies, though surging prices for power generation fuel limited losses. So, Brent crude oil futures fell 50 cents to $82.92 a barrel. US crude fell 44 cents to $80.20. Both contracts paired losses after falling as much as 70 cents earlier when China, the world's biggest crude importer, released data showing September imports fell 15% from a year earlier. However, China, along with Europe and India, remains mired in coal and natural gas shortages that have pushed up prices for electricity generation fuels. A strong US dollar trading near a one-year high also weighed on oil prices as it makes oil more expensive for those holding other currencies. However, oil watchers are still focused on whether soaring gas and coal prices will lead to more demand for oil products for power generation.
और बात अब सोने की करते हैं। मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज पर दिसंबर आपूर्ति वाले सोना आज 252 रुपए महंगा होकर 47,450 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर पहुंच गया। चांदी भी 754 रुपए उछलकर 62,350 रुपए प्रति किलो के स्तर पर जा पहुंची। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में सोना बढ़त के साथ $1,772 प्रति औंस और चांदी $22.87 प्रति औंस पर कारोबार कर रहे थे। डॉक्टर भट्टाचार्य जी, ये अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में भी सोने में तेजी देखी जा रही है और घरेलू बाजार में भी तेजी हम देख रहे हैं। इस साल के अंत तक सोना क्या 50,000 के स्तर को फिर से छूने के करीब होगा, ऐसा लगता है आपको?
बाजार में तेजी देख रहे हैं, वो मैं समझता हूं कि ये फेस्टिवल डिमांड की एक प्रतिफलन है। फेस्टिवल टाइम है और थोड़ा बहुत लोगों के पास जो पैसा है वो पैसे से वो सोना और चांदी के बाजार में जाकर अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं। मैं समझता हूं कि दिवाली तक को इसका दौर चलेगा, पर 50,000 क्रॉस करेगा या कितना जाएगा ये समय बताएगा। पर हम सोना और जो चांदी के बाजार में ये तेजी काफी दिनों के बाद देख रहे हैं, और ये भी एक चीज दर्शा रहा है कि जो इकोनॉमी में जो एक रिकवरी का फेज जो है वो उसके जो इम्पैक्ट चारों ओर दिख रहे हैं, ये सोने और चांदी के मार्केट में तेजी भी एक उसी का एक इंडिकेटर है।
And it's Q2 result time now for India Inc. And talking of results, let's talk of Infosys. The country's second largest IT company, Infosys, today reported 11.9% rise in consolidated net profit to 5,421 crore rupees in the September quarter against the same period last year. Company also reported a 6.1% quarter-on-quarter growth in consolidated revenues to 29,602 crore rupees for the September quarter. The IT company also announced an interim dividend of 15 rupees per share. And moving on to Wipro now. The country's third largest IT services company, Wipro, reported an 18.9% rise in its year-on-year quarterly profit to 2,930.7 crore rupees. The company said its consolidated quarter-on-quarter revenue climbed 7.7% to 19,667.4 crore rupees. It said the decline in the bottom line was driven by higher tax payments and a sharp rise in costs like wage hike and amortization charge on Capco acquisition. And moving on to some other stories, the International Monetary Fund IMF has projected that India will continue to be the world's fastest growing major economy, clocking a growth rate of 9.5% in 2021. As per the latest IMF projections, Indian economy will grow at 8.5% in 2022. The world economy is expected to grow at 5.9% in 2021 and 4.9% in 2022, according to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The United States is projected to grow at 6% this year and 5.2% the next year. China, on the other hand, is projected to grow at 8% in 2021 and 5.6% in 2022. IMF said global recovery continues, but the momentum has weakened and uncertainty has increased.
और अब बात कोयला नीलामी से जुड़ी हुई। कोयला मंत्रालय ने 40 नई कोयला खानों के लिए नीलामी प्रक्रिया शुरू कर दी है। मंत्रालय ने कहा है कि कुल 88 कोयला खानों की नीलामी का प्रस्ताव है, जिनमें से 40 नई और 48 पिछले दौर की नीलामी के बाद बची खदानें हैं। कुल मिलाकर करीब 55 अरब टन कोयला संसाधनों की नीलामी की जानी है। मंत्रालय ने कहा है कि 4 कुकिंग कोयला खानों की नीलामी होनी है। ये खाने 10 राज्यों झारखंड, छत्तीसगढ़, ओडिशा, मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र, पश्चिम बंगाल, आंध्र प्रदेश, तेलंगाना, अरुणाचल प्रदेश और असम में हैं।
And Coal Minister Prahlad Joshi has expressed happiness over the increase in supply of coal to thermal power plants from all sources. In a tweet, Mr. Joshi said cumulative coal supplies, including that from Coal India Limited, has recorded more than 2 million tons yesterday. He also stated that coal dispatch to power plants will be further increased to ensure sufficient stock with the power plants.
जी भट्टाचार्य जी, जो कोयला मंत्रालय ने आज 40 नई कोयला खदानों की नीलामी प्रक्रिया शुरू की है, क्या इसे आप एक नियमित प्रक्रिया का ही हिस्सा मानते हैं, या फिर ये जो कोयला आपूर्ति में जो इस समय बिजली संयंत्रों तक थोड़े बहुत व्यवधान की खबरें आ रही हैं, ये उससे जुड़ा हुआ कुछ ये आपको लगता है?
नहीं, मैं ये समझता हूँ ये पुराना टाइम टेबल है। ये जो खजाने में कोयला खानों की ऑक्शन करना और इसके साथ ये जुड़ा हुआ नहीं है। जो सरकार के पास जो क्राइसिस जो हुई थी उसको मैनेज करने के लिए दूसरे और स्टेप्स दिए गए हैं, और ये स्टेप्स उनकी पॉलिसी टाइम टेबल में ही ये जुड़ा हुआ था और उसी के हिसाब से काम हो रहा है। जी
भट्टाचार्य जी, धन्यवाद, आप कार्यक्रम में जुड़े और हमारे साथ इन तमाम विषयों पर चर्चा की, इसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार।
And before we close, a reminder of the headlines. Record run continues for the domestic markets. Sensex jumps 453 points. Nifty closes above 18,000 level. IT majors Infosys and Wipro report rise in quarterly profit, and IMF says India will be the fastest growing economy, projects 8.5% growth rate in the next fiscal. That's it in this edition of Market Mantra. This is Nishit Kumar along with me, Vishal Sharma in Hindi, signing off till you meet again the next time. Market Mantra.